Krishna's form is beautiful, Krishna's character is also beautiful. So this one shloka describes the beauty of Krishna's form and Krishna's character both. So let's see. Tarunam Ramaniyangam Arunoshthekshanadharam Pranatashrayanam Drimnam Sharanyam Karunarnavam. Okay. Yes, Madhavan Chaudhary. Tarunam Ramaniyangam.
Tarunam Ramaniyangam. Tarunam Ramaniyangam. Tarunam Ramaniyangam.
Okay, good. Then Riyansh. Arunoshthekshanadharam.
Arunoshthekshanadaram. Arunoshthekshanadaram. Anunoshthekshanardanam.
Okay. Next, Krishiva. Pranatashrayanam Drimnam.
Pranatashrayanam Drimnam. Pranatashrayanam Drimnam. Pranatashrayanam Drimnam.
Okay. Vrinda Mataji. Sharanyam
Yes,
Karuna.
Roji. Sharanam, first, last line, Roji.
Yes.
First
Sharanyam.
line.
Last
Sharanyam Karunavaram. Sharanyam Karunavaram. Sharanyam Karunavaram. Sharanyam Karunavaram. Thank you, Roji. Dandavat.
Then Yashoda. Tarunam Ramaniyangam Arunoshthekshanadharam.
Tarunam Ramaniyangam Arunoshthekshanadaram. Tarunam Ramaniyangam Arunoshthekshanadaram. Tarunam Ramaniyangam Arunoshthekshanadaram.
Asani. Pranatashrayanam Drimnam Sharanyam Karunarnavam.
Pranatashrayanam Nirna.
Pranatashrayanam Drimnam Sharanyam Karunarnavam.
I can't do it.
You can do. See. Pranatashrayanam Drimnam.
Pranatashrayanam Nirnam.
Sharanyam Karunarnavam.
Sharanyam Karunarnavam. Pranatashrayanam Nirnam. Sharanyam Karunarnavam. Pranatashrayanam Nirnam.
Sharanyam
Karunarnavam.
Okay, thank you. So here the silver na comes in every single line. Tarunam Ramaniyangam Arunoshthekshanadharam Pranatashrayanam Drimnam Sharanyam Karunarnavam. Okay, so 2 nas in the first 2 lines, 3 nas in the next 2 lines each. Yes, Karthik and Kamakshi, full shloka.
Yes, Hare Krishna. Tarunam Ramaniyangam Arunoshthekshanadharam Pranatashrayanam Nirnam Sharanyam Karunarnavam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Krishnan Prabhu.
Krishna. Tarunam Ramaniyangam Arunoshthekshanadharam Pranatashrayanam Drimnam Sharanyam Karunarnavam. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji. Divya Gauranga.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Tarunam Ramaniyangam Arunoshthekshanadharam Pranatashrayanam Rumnam Sharanyam Karunarnavam. Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Madhuri Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Tarunam Ramaniyangam Arunoshthekshanadharam Pranatashrayanam Drimnam Sharanyam Karunarnavam. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat.
So we will discuss the meaning of this shloka. Tarunam Ramaniyangam. So in this shloka we see 3 aspects of Krishna's beautiful form and 4 aspects of Krishna's beautiful character. Okay, total 7 elements are there in this one shloka. So please focus on that. Tarunam, first is Tarunam. Tarunam means Krishna is always youthful. He's always young. Have you ever seen Krishna with some white hair, some wrinkles on his face in any painting? Have you seen like that? So Tarunam means Krishna is always beautiful, always youthful, right? Then Ramaniyangam means all the bodily limbs of Krishna are perfectly formed, right? So there are hands and legs and eyes and ears, and all the limbs of Krishna's body are perfectly shaped and they're very symmetrical. It's not that he's fat or he's thin, he's emaciated. So it's not like that. He is, all the limbs are perfectly formed. Okay. Then Arunoshtekshana. Third point is Aruna Ushtha Ikshana Adharam. So his eyes and his lips are pinkish or reddish, like the rising sun. Okay. So when sun rises, what do you see there? So the sun looks little reddish or orangish, something like that, right? So Krishna's eyes and lips are also of that color. So this describes the beauty of Krishna's form, the first two lines. So third line, Pranata Shrayanam Nrimnam. Pranata means one who surrenders to Krishna or one who offers obeisances to Krishna. Ashrayanam means Krishna gives them shelter. If you seek his shelter, he will give you shelter. Okay, Pranata Ashrayanam. Nrimnam means Krishna is transcendentally pleasing in all respects. One who sees him is completely satisfied. That is Nrimnam. Then sixth point, Sharanyam, he is the only person who is worthy of giving shelter. Right? So if at all you want to take shelter, you can take shelter from Krishna alone, and it is not very easy to get shelter from anywhere else as much as we get from Krishna. After all, Krishna is the shelter of everybody, right? As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita also, Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattaha sarvam pravartati. Everything is coming from Krishna, everything is dependent on Krishna. Naturally, he is the worthiest shelter of everything. Or in his form as Garbhodakasaya Vishnu and Kshirodakasaya Vishnu and Karanodakasaya Vishnu, he maintains the material world, and all the universes take his shelter. All the universes take the shelter of Mahavishnu's body. All the planets within one universe take shelter of Garbhodakasaya Vishnu's body. All the living beings within the universe take shelter of Karanodakasaya Vishnu. Like that, Krishna is the shelter in all his forms. So we'll discuss more about it. Then last point, Karunaranavam, he is an ocean of compassion. Karuna means compassion. Aranavam means ocean. He is an ocean of compassion. So these are the 7 qualities of Krishna described in this small shloka. First 2 lines describe the beauty of Krishna's form. Next 2 lines describe the beauty of Krishna's character. Okay. So now let's get into deeper details of this shloka. First, Tarunam means Krishna is always youthful. So there are multiple stages in which a child grows. The first 5 years of a child's age is called Balya stage, 0 to 5. From the child's birth till he is 5 years old, that is called Balya stage. From 5 to 10, it is called Pauganda stage. Okay. Then from 10 to 15, it is Kaishora stage. Beyond 15, one goes into Yauvana, youth. Right? Balya is childhood. It is also called Kaumara stage. So now generally a small child takes 5 years to complete his Balya stage, but Krishna within 3 years 4 months he completes his Balya stage. Means when Krishna is 3 years 4 months, he appears like a 5-year-old child. His bodily growth is like a 5-year-old child. His intelligence is like a 5-year-old child. So who is more intelligent, 5-year-old kid or a 3-year 4-month-old kid? So naturally 5-year-old kid is more matured, okay, in that sense. Then when Krishna completes 6 years 8 months of his age, he looks like a 10-year-old boy. Okay. So now an ordinary child may take 10 years to complete the Pauganda stage, but Krishna completes Pauganda stage within 6 years 8 months only. Then a normal child will take 15 years to complete the Kaishora stage, but Krishna within 10 years he completes Kaishora stage. Means when Krishna is 10 years old, he looks like a 15-year-old boy. His bodily growth and his intelligence is like a 15-year-old boy. Who is more mature, who is more intelligent, 10-year-old boy or 15-year-old boy? So Krishna at the age of 15, he thinks like a 15-year-old boy. At the age of 10, he thinks like a 15-year-old boy. So when Krishna was just 7 years old, lifting Govardhan mountain, he looked like a 10-year-old boy lifting Govardhan mountain. He has bodily limbs developed like that, and he looks like a 10-year-old boy. So then Krishna comes to Yavana. After that, Krishna will not grow. Okay, so somebody will come to Yavana stage. They come to 15, 16, whatever. Then they grow, and eventually they become old also. But when Krishna comes to Yavana stage, he becomes very youthful. After that, he will never grow old. Even when Krishna is 100 years old, he looks like a 16-year-old boy. At the max, 20, 25-year-old man. When Krishna was driving the chariot of Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, he was more than 100 years old, but he looked like a young man. Okay, hardly 20, 25-year-old man. So this is about Krishna's Tarunam. He is ever youthful. Although Krishna is the origin of everything in the entire universe, although Krishna is the source of all the material and spiritual worlds, although Krishna is Anadi Adir Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam, he is the cause of all causes, he is Adi, origin of everything, he is the Purana Purusha, oldest person, but he never becomes old. He is the oldest young person. Okay, he is always youthful. So that's about Tarunam. You got the first point? Second, Ramaniyangam, all the limbs of Krishna's body are perfectly formed. His eyes are symmetrical like lotus petals. As Kunti Maharani also glorifies her beauty, glorifies Krishna's beauty. What does Krishna say? What does Kunti Maharani say? You know that shloka? Kunti Maharani's description of Krishna's beauty, comparing Krishna's various limbs with lotuses. Anyone knows? Yes, Hasini.
Namak Pankajanaಭಾಯ Namak Pankajamaline Namak Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangre.
Okay. So all the limbs of Krishna's body are compared with lotuses. And even Prachetas also offer this prayer. Namaha Kamala Nabhaya Namaha Kamala Malini. So Kamala is Pankaja. Both are same. Okay, both are lotuses. So all the limbs of Krishna's body are perfectly formed. His legs, his feet, his navel, his arms. Actually, Krishna's lotus feet are the source of shelter of all the devotees. And Krishna's arms, Krishna's hands are the source of the shelter of all the devatas. All the devatas or lokapalas gain their shelter, gain their strength from Krishna's arms. So, and the Brahmanas are compared with Krishna's head, Kshatriyas are compared with Krishna's arms. So like that, different Varnas are also compared with Krishna's bodies, Krishna's transcendental body. So Krishna's all limbs are perfectly formed, and they are the source of strength of many people in this universe. Okay, he is the perfection of all beauty. So next is Arunoshthekshanadharam. So the third aspect of Krishna's beauty, or the second line of the shloka, describes that Krishna's beautiful eyes and lips are reddish like the rising sun. Okay, when you see rising sun or setting sun, it's very pleasant. So at the 12 o'clock, midday, summer, you see 12 o'clock, sun is there on your head, you can't see him, and you can't just relish that beauty sitting on your terrace. But when sun is rising or sun is setting, you can sit on the terrace and then just watch the sun. Oh, very beautiful, very nice round circle, reddish. So Krishna's eyes and lips are reddish like the rising sun. So that's another aspect of Krishna's beauty. So next comes Krishna's character, the beauty of Krishna's character. Pranata Ashrayanam. Pranata means to offer obeisances to Krishna. Pranata also means to surrender to Krishna. Okay. So Ashrayana means Krishna gives shelter. So the Srimad Bhagavatam has 10 topics. Anyone knows the 10 topics of Srimad Bhagavatam? Atra, yes, you know, Divya Krishna. Unmute fast.
Atra sarga visargascha sthanam poshetam ashrayam.
Okay. Atra sarga visargascha sthanam poshanamotayah. Yashoda, you know?
Atra sargo visargascha sthanam poshanamotaya manvantare shanukata nirodho muktirashraya.
Okay. These are the 10 topics described in Bhagavatam. Sarga means creation done by the Lord. Visarga means creation done by Brahma and his sons. Okay. Sthana means locating all the living beings in different planets in the universe. So like that there are different topics, and the last topic is called Ashraya. Ashraya means shelter. So Krishna is the exclusive shelter of all living beings. Whether they understand it or not, we are all under the shelter of Krishna only. Right? Some people may accept Krishna's shelter, some people may reject Krishna's shelter, some people may say, oh, I don't want Krishna or God in my life, I know what to do in life. But whether we acknowledge it or not, all of us are under the shelter of Krishna. So we are getting wind, we are getting water, we are getting various facilities, we are getting sunlight, we are getting moonshine, we are getting food. All this is given to us by Krishna, whether we understand it or not. If you read Bhagavad Gita, we can easily understand that Krishna is the source of sun and moon. Prabhasmi Shashisuryayoho. Krishna is the source of the light of sun and moon, and only by Krishna's mercy all the vegetables are getting nourished, so that we get some taste, we get some nourishment of the body also. So Krishna is our maintainer physically, mentally, and at an individual level as super soul, at the universal cosmic level as the Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. So like that, Krishna is our maintainer and Krishna is the shelter, whether we understand it or not. But there are some devotees who accept that Krishna is the supreme shelter and they derive Krishna's shelter. So here is Draupadi. She tried to protect herself by begging some mercy and assistance and support from Bhishma, from Drona. She did not get. So like that, she tried to protect herself in various ways, but finally she took shelter of Krishna, and Krishna came running to protect Draupadi. So actually, when Draupadi was just calling Krishna out, just before, when this whole Vastraharana episode is happening, Krishna was just playing his dice game with Mother Rukmini. So then Krishna got distracted because his dear devotee Draupadi is in trouble. So Krishna got little distracted and he was not focusing on the game. And Rukmini asked, hey Krishna, why are you so spaced out? Why are you not playing properly? Concentrate on the game. Then Krishna said, no, my devotee is in great distress now. Oh really? Rukmini became concerned, right? She is the supreme mother, if Krishna is the supreme father. Rukmini said, oh, if your devotee is in trouble, why are you sitting here? Please go and protect the devotee. Then Krishna said, no, the devotee is so far. The devotee is in Hastinapur. I am in Dwaraka. How can I go so fast? Then Rukmini said, hey, how can you say that? You just call Daruka. You know Daruka? He is the chariot driver of Krishna. You call Daruka. He is super fast in driving. He is faster than wind. He is faster than mind. Please call him. Then Krishna said, no, it is very far. It is in Hastinapur. Daruka cannot drive so fast. Then Rukmini thought for a while and then she said, okay, fine, call Garuda. So you have your transcendental eagle carrier Garuda. You call him, you sit on his back and he will take you very fast. Then Krishna said, no, Hastinapur is so far, the devotee is so far, I cannot call even Garuda. Then Garuda also is not so fast. Then Rukmini said, why am I giving so many options? Krishna, you are the super soul. You are the super soul within the hearts of all living beings. You can disappear in Dwaraka and appear in Hastinapur. Why can't you just go and manifest and protect your devotee? Then Krishna said, oh, that is also not possible. Rukmini is a little confused. And then Krishna suddenly said, hey, I have to go now. And Krishna just left. Then he was about to leave. Then Rukmini said, I gave you 3 options. Okay, I gave you Daruka option. I gave you Garuda option. I gave you Paramatma option. But you said it's impossible and now you are in a very great haste to go. Then Krishna said, my dear Rukmini, that devotee who was in distress was my dear Draupadi. When you told me that I can take Daruka to go to Hastinapur, Draupadi was asking some assistance from whom? Bhishma, Drona and others. When you told me to go on Garuda, then Draupadi was asking assistance from her own husbands, the Pandavas, like Bhima, Arjuna, etc. When you told me to manifest there as Paramatma, then Draupadi was asking assistance from her own self. She was trying to protect herself from Dushasana's hands with her own strength. And when Draupadi just threw her hands in the air and then called Krishna, Govinda, Murari, you are the only shelter, then I'm immediately going now. So Krishna immediately went and gave unlimited sari to protect Draupadi. Okay, not that Krishna purposefully wants to delay protecting his devotees. Ultimately, every situation is under his control. So all these descriptions given by great devotees just illuminate the fact that when you take exclusive shelter of Krishna, Krishna will protect us. Because our taking shelter of Krishna also has some intensity. Some people may take little shelter of Krishna, some people are exclusively dependent on Krishna. For example, a grown-up child, a 5-year-old boy or a 10-year-old boy, may not depend on the mother so much to eat food. But a 1-year-old baby is completely dependent on the mother to take food. So, similarly, devotees also take shelter of Krishna to different degrees. To the degree we are dependent on Krishna, to that degree Krishna comes and protects us. Of course, we also should use the God-given intelligence and resources to protect ourselves, right? But point here is, Draupadi has taken exclusive shelter of Krishna. Krishna immediately came and protected Mother Draupadi, right? So, Pranata Ashrayanam. Pranata means one who takes complete shelter, and Pranata can also mean one who just offers obeisances. That's why Krishna is called Pranata Ashrayanam or Pranata Pala. Whether you just offer obeisances to Krishna or take complete shelter of Krishna, or wherever you are between these two stages, Krishna is there to provide shelter. Okay, Pranata Ashrayanam. So next comes the fifth quality, Nrimnam. He is transcendentally pleasing in all respects. Whenever somebody sees Krishna, is completely pleased. So whenever someone sees Krishna's form in Vrindavan, all the senses are completely pleased. What is that beautiful shloka that says Krishna is Sarva Saundarya Sangraham and Krishna is also Sarvendriya Gunanjanam. When you come in contact with Krishna, all your indriyas, all your senses are completely satisfied. Just by seeing Krishna's beautiful form, your eyes are satisfied. Just by smelling the flowers or tulsi leaves offered to Krishna's lotus feet, our nose is satisfied. Just by chanting Krishna's name or tasting Krishna prasadam, our tongue is satisfied. Just by hearing the holy name of Krishna, our ears are satisfied. Like that, all the limbs of a devotee, all the senses of a devotee are completely satisfied by coming in contact with Krishna. That's why he is Sarvendriya Gunanjanam or Nrimnam, transcendently pleasing in all respects and satisfying to anyone who comes in contact with him. Then Sharanyam. So Sharanyam means he is the worthiest shelter. We have seen in the episode of Gajendra. So Gajendra offers a prayer to Krishna. Madrik prapanna pashupasha vimokshanaya muktaya bhuri karunaya namolayaya. So here Krishna has the necessary compassion to protect his devotees. He is completely cognizant of the situation of devotees. And also Krishna has the capacity to protect. One who has capacity to protect, one who has compassion to protect, one who is cognizant of our situation can actually give shelter. Not everyone. So one may be intending to give shelter, but one may not have the capacity to give shelter. One may have capacity to give shelter, but one may not have the intention to give shelter. Or one may have the capacity and compassion both, but one may not be aware of our situation. But Krishna is all three. Because he is super soul within the hearts of all living beings, Krishna can give us shelter whenever we receive shelter, and even without that also Krishna inspires. So here is this beautiful example where Gajendra's leg was caught by this crocodile, and Gajendra offered prayer to Krishna. Krishna only reminded Gajendra from within about that prayer. Gajendra had learned that prayer in his past life, and Krishna inspired Gajendra to remember that prayer and offer that prayer, and Krishna himself came to protect Gajendra and kill that crocodile and gave Sarupya Mukti to Gajendra. So Sharanyam. So basically, Krishna is always prepared to give shelter to all his devotees, But only issue is the conditioned souls may take shelter from different sources, right? So they depend on many other people or their own strength to protect themselves. But when we take shelter of Krishna, Krishna's shelter is always available. And the best example of exclusive shelter of Krishna is Prahalad Maharaj. He did not do anything. At least Draupadi did some thing to protect herself with whatever is there, strength is there within her hands. And Gajendra also tried to protect himself to some degree. But Prahalad is completely dependent on Krishna, 5-year-old child. Hiranyakashipu tried to kill Prahalad in various ways, but the Lord always protected Prahalad. So in this way, Krishna is Sharanyam. And why does he protect? Because he is Karunaranavam, he is an ocean of compassion. Karuna means compassion and Aranavam means ocean. So Krishna is an ocean of compassion. He comes on the back of Garuda to protect all the devotees. We know that shloka, Bhakta Paya Bhujanga Garuda Mani Trailokya Rakshamani. Bhakta Paya Bhujanga Garuda Mani Trailokya Rakshamani. Gopi Lochana Chatakam Budamani Saundarya Mudramani. Yah Kantamani Rukmini Ghanakucha Dvandvaika Bhushamani Shreyo Deva Shikhamanir Dishatuno Gopala Chudamani. Like that, we have so many shlokas that describe how Krishna is the exclusive shelter. He is the most beautiful person and he has the best character also. So, the beauty of a person means the physical beauty of a person is definitely very attractive to people. So the beautiful form of a person inspires attraction, but attachment and affection for that person develops more because of beautiful character. So the enchanting beauty of Krishna's form and character are the source of relish and refuse for all of us. Now you see, one aspect of Krishna's character is he gives more credit to his devotees than he takes for himself. Who orchestrated the entire Kurukshetra war? It is Krishna. But Krishna did not pick up a weapon. Krishna did not kill any enemies. Krishna made Arjuna the hero of Kurukshetra battle. Krishna made Bhima the hero of Kurukshetra battle. Bhima killed all the 100 sons of Dhritarashtra. And Arjuna has killed all the prominent warriors like Bhishma, Drona, Karna, Jayadratha, etc. So Krishna made his devotees the heroes. Krishna just stayed as a simple chariot driver. Okay. So Krishna likes to give more credit to his devotees than he takes for himself. That's why Krishna's character is so beautiful. So Krishna is not such an insecure master that gives some meager facilities to his servants and he enjoys greater facilities. Any master in this material world, any boss, so he may be in a very great position, in a better room, enjoying more facilities and privileges, while the people who are working under him, they have lesser facilities, right? But Krishna is not like that. Krishna allows all his devotees to enjoy equally like him. In fact, he gives more enjoyment to his devotees than he takes for himself. By rendering service to Krishna, devotees become more happy than Krishna, right? So devotees become happier by serving Krishna, and Krishna who receives that service from the devotees is not as happy as the devotees who render service to him. To understand their mood, to experience their happiness, Krishna also aspires to take the form of a devotee, and that's the whole background of the incarnation of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay. So Krishna gives more credit to his devotees, Krishna gives more happiness to his devotees. That's the speciality of Krishna's character, right? The beauty of Krishna's character. So these are a few thoughts on this beautiful shloka, small shloka. We'll recite this shloka again. Yes, Karthik and Kamakshi, you can recite. Tarunam Ramaniyangam. Unmute.
Tarunam Ramaniyangam Arunokshekshanadanam Pranatachayanam Rinna Sharanyam Karunarnavam. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Thank you. Naimisha. Pranata Shalini Mataji.
Prabhu, I want to recite after you.
Tarunam Ramaniyangam
Tarunam Ramaniyangam
Arunoshthekshanaadharam
Arunoshtekshanaadaram
Pranatashrayanam Dramnam
Pranatasharayanam Namram
Sharanyam Karunarnavam.
Sharanam Karunarvavam. Thank you, Prabhu.
Jaligama Ram Prabhu.
Ramadevi. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Tarunam Ramaniyangam Arunasti Kshanadaram Pranat Sarvam Nirmamam Sharanyam Karunavayam Karunanava.
Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Mataji. Tarunam
Ramaniyangam Arunokshtekshadadharam Pranatakshanam Rinam Sharanyam Karunarnavam. Thank you, Prabhu.
Recited Bhavana Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Tarunam Ramaniyangam Arunoshtekshanaadharam Pranatashrayanam Nirmanam Sharanyam Karunarnavam. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Bharat Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Tarunam Ramaniyangam Arunoshtekshanaadharam Pranatashranam Niranam Sharanyam Karunarnavam. Thank you.
Okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Tarunam Ramaniyangam Arunoshthekshanaadharam Pranatashrayanam Drimnam Sharanyam Karunarnavam. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Tarunam Ramaniyangam Arunoshtekshanaadharam Pranatashranam Nramnam Sharanyam Karunarnavam.
Tarunam Ramaniyangam Arunoshtekshanaadharam Pranatashrayanam Nimram Saranyam Karunarnavam.
Okay.
Tarunam Ramaniyangam Arunoshtekshanaadaram Pranatashrayanam Nimram Sharanyam Karunarnavam.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Taranam Ramaniyangam Arunoshtekshanaadharam Pranatashrayanam Drimnam Sharanyam Karunarnavam. Hare Krishna Prabhuji,
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Taranam Ramaniyangam Arunoshtekshanaadharam Pranatashranam Nimram Sharanyam Karunarnavam.
Okay, last.
Hare Krishna
Vishal.
Prabhu. Tarunam Ramaniyangam Arunoshtekshanaadharam Pranatashrayanam Rumnam Saranyam Karunarnavam. Hare Krishna.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll meet next week with another shloka. Hare Krishna.
Ajay.